Okay, that is Craigbot going. Okay, so this is Luncheon 42. Again, I don't know if Nate's gonna make it. Nate had this thing with his job today, so we'll see if Nate makes it. If not, we'll make do. But today's lunch is a bit odd. It's a hodgepodge. Um, Roasted potatoes with meatballs. Bit of an odd
Huh.
combination, but I mean,
Reminds me,
technically you could do gnocchi and meatballs, so that would be still be pretty Italian.
hmm. Reminds me of that old YouTube poop meme. Remember the where Mario's like meatball. Remember that?
Which one?
You ever seen YouTube poops?
Oh, yeah, with the old Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Exactly. That's pretty funny.
Very old show too.
Actually, the princess to invite us over for dinner, gay Luigi. Hope they make
Right?
lots of spaghetti.
How they were just
Uh,
completely stereotypical Italian.
yeah.
It was like, and on top of this is when like Nintendo first came out, and they put their branding on everything. You know,
Hmm.
they had Nintendo cereal, they had Nintendo everything.
Did they have Nintendo condoms?
You know what? I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it for adults who were just getting into video games that there were possibly Nintendo condoms.
Oh boy.
um, but apparently there was a Nintendo cereal where it had Legend of Zelda and Mario both in one box but two separate bags. It was it was weird.
What do you mean the actual games, or just the serial
Like
themes?
cereal brands, and they were like again in two separate bags but in one box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a cereal that made absolutely no sense.
Hmm. For a second, I thought
um,
you meant that the cereal boxes included the games with them, the original Mario and
oh no,
Zelda.
they wouldn't do that again. Remember, games back then, the cartridges were also around $60.
Yeah, that's oh man, that's pretty expensive.
Yeah, back for 1980, yeah, that was hella expensive.
They're even more now though because Nintendo doesn't want to let their prices go down.
Right? Well, I mean, games today are like $60 still, but that's not that much today. Um, but you know, I think an actual vintage NES cartridge of Super Mario Brothers is actually loads of money. I
Yeah,
think
something
that's
like
yeah, it's more like $6,000 for a vintage Super Mario Brothers NES cartridge.
that. Oh man, especially if it comes with the box.
Yep, if it actually comes with the box and you actually still have an NES to actually play it on.
Oh yeah.
um, there is actually a video game museum in Frisco when we used to live in Texas, and that was a blast to go to.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Should have
it
put.
is. Huh?
Should have sent the AVGN there.
I think he probably has a video of him going there. If
Hmm.
I if I had to take a guess, let's look and see if he does. Maybe. Um, I'll get in today's topic in a little bit here. Um, let's take a look here. Once YouTube loads. Look here. Um, AVGN Video Game Museum. Did he ever go there? Uh, no, it doesn't look like he has. That would have been the first result. But he really should. He should go to the video game museum in Frisco at some point. You know, like his audience really needs to push him to go do that. But yeah, it's really crazy. Like the video game museum has every console ever made in there. And you can
Wow.
yeah. And you can actually they actually have them hooked up and you can actually play some of the games on there. And they even have this full on like 80s style arcade where you can play, you know, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Metal Slug, all the classic arts. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. But
that I bet you wouldn't want to play Virtual Boy though.
I think they actually have the Virtual Boy too.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah, they have everything. And on top of this, they have a recreation of basically how a living room looked in the 80s. And it's like, holy crap, this takes me back. I'm like, 80s, this is how my living room still looked in the 90s still.
Wow.
But anyways, let's get into today's topic. Today's topic is scary games and what makes a game, you know, scary to you, and you know what's sort of your preferences. This will be the last spooky topic because it's still October, so. But some of like a lot of people feel like the more scarier games are ones that take place from first person. You know what I mean by first person?
Yeah, first person, kind of like Slenderman.
Yeah, you know it takes place from your perspective. Like, let me put this in other pictures. RE7. Baker. Like, RE7 has, you know, it was forcibly like first person perspective. Now RE8 these days you can change it to third person with Ethan, but RE7 you can't do that. It is always first person, and you're, you know, experiencing the Baker family, you know, from that perspective forcibly. And yeah, after they're infected, they are a scary family. So it's like, you know, Lady Stone pointed out, you know, it's actually scarier when a game takes place, you know, from first person rather than third person. Because in third person, you can perceive threats that are coming up behind you. So you feel like you have more control, and thus it's not as scary. Would you agree with that assessment there?
Probably.
Yeah. As an RE7, as you're going down the hall, let's see if there's any images or videos. But as you're going down the hall in the Baker house, you know, Jack Baker, he's stalking you. And, you know, next thing you know, you see his face or his hand grab your face and forcibly turn you, you know. So it sort of forces you to experience it firsthand, you know. Jack Baker and the rest of the Baker family attacking you and pursuing you, and rather than just experiencing it through Ethan's perspective, it's like you're there, you know?
Makes sense.
And yeah, so the better question is like, when you are in that first person perspective, is it better for the entire game to be just this series of unrelenting horrors that you have very little control over? Or is it, you know, better? Would you feel it'd be better for you to actually have a chance and build up your arsenal and everything?
I don't know. I do gotta ask though. Who do you think would be scarier to get chased by? Him or Sarah?
Trust me, Sarah.
Oh
You don't want to
man.
fuck with Lady Stone.
Yeah, she'd probably be coming at you with a knife. She'd be like that one chick from Future Diary or Mirai Nikki.
Future Diaries?
Yeah.
What is that about?
Remember, you haven't seen that one?
I don't think so. I've heard about it though.
Crazy. Pretty much the first really popular yandere.
Oh, okay.
She's crazy as fuck.
And so she like comes at her man with a knife.
No, she comes at everyone else with a knife.
Oh, who comes near him?
Yeah, yeah. Basically, if anyone tries to get close to him, or just she just loves killing in general. She loves murdering.
I'd see. Yeah, that's
Oh boy.
pretty much how Lady Stone is with anyone who does attempt to mess with me. Isn't that right, my love? Yeah.
Hmm.
No, no fucks given, right, my love?
Your brother or your dad tried to pick on you.
Oh yeah. So yeah, at family reunions, or any holiday where after I married her, my dad and my brother, they typically try to pick on me for a few things. And whenever she's around, the moment that they try, she just lays into them relentlessly. Just making fun of my dad's weight, or the fact that she calls my brother a pale rat.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Laboratory experiment.
How aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why
He's an aggressive chick.
because when you came out, they're like, "Ugh, we should try again."
Huh.
When your dad picks on you about your weight, it's like, I wouldn't be talking, Mister, hot air balloon. I go on the treadmill to what? Stand on it or use it as a step ladder?
Right. um.
Hmm.
So yeah, Lady Stone is not someone you'd want to be chased by. Jack Baker, if you shoot him in the face enough times, he'll stop. um. And yeah, I mean, I guess that more or less gets into
Well,
what
I was
kind
gonna
of.
say
Hmm?
that Sarah would be the one chasing Jack Baker. He'd be running from her.
Yeah, Jack would be like, "Get this woman away from me!"
Crazy, she scares me. Nothing's.
I don't know if
I
I did
fear
his.
nothing, but that thing scares me.
I couldn't hear you, Andy. What'd you say?
I said, I fear nothing, but that thing scares me.
Yeah.
My brother's afraid to pick on me.
Mm-hmm. Clay does not fuck with Sarah, that's for sure. But
And if he does, he hides behind a screen and distance.
mm-hmm. He's gonna say, "No, I'm too busy with my kid and everything."
Yeah, because when he used to like pick on me, I used to restrain him while he was asleep, and then I'd wake him up by sitting on the edge of his bed. And when he couldn't, he'd go, "Why am I tied to my bed?" I go, "Just because."
Tied to the bed. Oh my god, that gives me some yandere vibes. Tied to the bed. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd sit there and just watch him, and he'd go, "Sarah, untie me." No.
Hmm.
Sarah, untie me or I'll scream. Go ahead.
Wow.
So he could get more mad at you for waking her up than mad at me for doing this to you.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
That is scary.
Yep. But
I've seen
this
enough
does get
hentai to know where
you.
that goes. I said I've seen enough hentai to know where that goes.
Oh, jeez.
So now how to kill you, make it look like an accident. Also, I know how much blood it'll take to nearly kill you, but not full on kill you.
Right.
Wow. Yeah,
Leave you in a...
that's fucked up.
Yep. This does get me into like what kind of threat is better for a horror game, a more psychological threat or a more relentless threat. Because typically if well no, I mean that's the thing. If I will say like 7 is more scary than 8 because you feel more helpless. You know, granted, yes, Lady Demetresque in 8, she's the stalker enemy that follows up after Jack Baker, but she's, you know, obviously because of her figure, she's not as scary. You know, a lot of people, they mod the game so you can have a fly swatter to smack her butt. But,
Yeah, it's kind of hard to be scared when you're sexually aroused.
yeah. You're like, yeah, step on me, mommy.
Yes, step on me, mommy, please.
Right?
Can you hit me with your 20-pound breast?
Right? Her breasts probably do have to weigh 20 pounds. She's 9 feet tall. But yeah.
Please just step on my balls and just grind it and say you've been a bad boy.
You've been a naughty, naughty boy.
Right? Again, so, and on top of this, when you're up against Lady Demetresque as well, Castle Demetresque is very big. You know, you don't feel as trapped. You know, you feel like if she's chasing you, you have plenty of places to escape. You know, and on top of this, granted she's more unstoppable. You know, you lay a bunch of bullets into her, all she does is dust it off and keep going. You know, now with Jack Baker, the Baker estate is far more claustrophobic. You know, you are in these tight hallways, and he knows this house better than you do. You know, so it doesn't matter where you go, he'll find you. You know, he'll find you eventually. And on top of this, you can shoot him in the face, and eventually he'll go down, but you have to use a lot of bullets to do it. You know, so this.
Well, it's like the baby scene in 8. It's like you have restricted areas.
Yeah.
So to me, the relentless thing and what you're talking about kind of go hand in hand.
A little bit.
If you're in a more claustrophobic area, like the castle, there's ways to escape it. You have all these crevices.
Yeah,
So
but like I said, the difference is that Lady Demetresque is more relentless. She can shoot. She just keeps going and keeps going, no matter how much you attack her. You know?
right, but her area that she's in is much bigger.
Yeah.
So it's easier to hide from her. It's easier to escape from her.
Yeah, or like
with the other places you mentioned.
Yeah, that's a more psychological. Like I said,
It just has to do with the area because it's still relentless.
in a
It
sense.
is because the other guy, you know, you said it won't go down easy, but since you're stuck in this garage with him, with no way of hiding or getting any protection, it's still relentless, but it's the area that makes it more.
Yeah, and then like I said, you know, the more bullets you have to use to even stop him, it puts you more at risk because inevitably you have to go to other parts of the manor that have the molded. And the molded will also take up a shitload of bullets to kill. You know? And so, like I said, I feel like it's a more psychologically effective threat. You know, because that's the other thing. Like, if we go back to earlier Resident Evil titles, like 2 and 3. Granted, Nemesis is more powerful than Mr. X, but at the same time, it goes back to that sort of space and distance thing. With Jill and Raccoon City, you're in a more wide, spread out area. You know, you can run from Nemesis. You have options. Whereas with Mr. X, you know, you are in those trapped confines of the RPD. those tight corridors. And on top of this, the only way to shake him in some cases is to use up flashbangs, which you don't want to use up as often. You inevitably have to use resources just to escape him.
But you're still proving my point.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all of it's relentless. It's just the area that makes it more horrifying.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's a more psychologically driven and effective approach, Now, granted, I think they really kind of dropped the ball in the 3 remake because Nemesis is not as effective, honestly, because I looked at footage of the original Resident Evil 3 and holy crap, Nemesis's AI for back then was like very, very effective. Like he could pop out and attack you at any given moment and you're like, holy shit. For 1999, this was a very effective AI.
I like the trope where you feel like you're isolated and there's no escape. Like the game that I've been playing on the Nintendo Switch.
What's that game called again? I was about to reference that. Outlast. And that one you don't have any weapons, do you? Yeah, you're
basically using your wit to hide from dangerous inmates, and then the only thing you can do is write things down and take pictures and film.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like Grave Encounters movie where it's just them and their
recording equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing else. There's nothing to protect them. There's no way to hide from anything because no matter what, that relentless predator finds you.
Yep. That's the real scary part. If you have absolutely no means of defense, or you can only run and hide. That's
like I think the scene with what's her face, the little girl.
Oh, with Sherry in Resident Evil 2?
Yeah, I think that's a really horrifying scene because she is really young, she's helpless, and you have to outmaneuver this fucking crazy guy who's trudging through after getting acid thrown in his face.
Yeah.
It's pretty horrifying.
Yeah. That admittedly is a very effective means of horror in the Resident Evil 2 remake where Sherry has to outwit Chief Irons. And Morocco, stop it. By all accounts, Chief Irons is actually like a psychopath. Dude gets, like Sarah pointed out, acid thrown in his face and he just keeps coming. Because that is another aspect that a lot of horror games tap into is the idea of psychopaths being able to ignore pain.
Which is true.
Yeah.
Because the brain actually stops you from
processing, or rather, doing too much.
Yeah. So with a lot of crazy people, that hinge is broken, so they basically can like throw cars over their heads and do some serious damage.
Yeah.
While with more sane people, the brain has that hinge where it's intact on, we can destroy that car with our bare hands, but
we're not going to.
I'm just gonna stop you right there and just kind of go, this hurts, ow.
Yeah, we're not doing that. But it's crazy how some games are full on doing that approach, like Outlast, like you said, where it leaves you more helpless against enemies and your goal is to hide from them rather than fight them. And I guess, would that be a more effective way to do like an actually really scary horror game, you think, Andy?
Maybe.
Right? I mean, because if you have to hide rather than fight, because that's the ultimate thing, right? When you have the ability to fight, it still gives you agency. even if you're at a very steep disadvantage, you still have some ability to fight back, no matter what. Whereas, if all you can do is run and hide, on top of this, it's not like... Here's the thing, like, while the baby scene in Resident Evil 8 is scary, viscerally so, ultimately, at the end of the day, there's a very scripted way to go through it and come out unscathed. Don't get me wrong, it's nerve-wracking every single time I play it, but largely because of just how viscerally horrifying that baby looks. But at the end of the day, you can get through it. In a game like Outlast, I imagine encounters are different every single time. So every time, no one way of hiding is going to be effective every single time, you know?
It had some very good jump scares in the beginning.
Right.
Like finding one guy hanging, telling you to get out.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't expecting that guy to move and tell you that. And then as you're trying to trudge through tight spaces, all of a sudden this huge fleshoid comes out of nowhere
Mm-hmm.
and throws you off the balcony. It's like, and there's no way to avoid that.
Mm-hmm. Now, I guess the counterpoint is that without that agency, it does feel just more like a horror movie, an interactive horror movie, than it does a actual game. You know, that's probably some people's counterpoint. But at the same time, it's like, it really is, depends what you want to experience yourself as a player, you know? What do you feel is the more effective thrill ride, you know, horror experience? What do you enjoy more? I guess Nate still hasn't shown up yet, so I guess we can't get Nate's thoughts. Nate's still busy.
I doubt he would have very much thought.
I suppose.
He'd ramble about something else.
I mean, so far Nate stayed on topic. Yes, yeah. But, I guess more or less, what kind of horror game would you want to play, Andy?
I don't play horror games. I don't watch horror movies. I don't play horror games.
You wouldn't, even if it was like tailor made for you?
Nope, you can't because that's not my kind of thing.
Okay.
What about horror hentai?
Would you do a horror hentai game?
No.
Still not even a horror hentai game. I am surprised.
Nah, I don't like seeing. I don't like. I don't like. I don't like. Feeling like I'm gonna throw up or feeling uncomfortable while I'm watching something or playing something.
Right. So
I don't want to basically look in the mirror and go, I'm ashamed of you for jacking off to that.
Now, if it's a tentacle porn, oh yeah, sign me up.
Actually, fun fact, you know the ending of Silent Hill movie where that woman is strung up on barbed wire and she has those wires shoved up her vagina?
Oh yeah, that's in the movie?
It's spewed out.
Yeah.
It's in the movie. It's like one of the most prominent scenes.
Right.
After she says, "Dear God, help me stay pure," and the barbed wire like thrust her legs out and shoot up inside her, carrying her from the inside. The director didn't know how to end the film with that, so he actually took inspiration from hentai
Oh jeez.
to do that scene.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah. See, I'm not here to get scared. I'm here to get horny.
Bruh. So for you, something that might work would be, I guess, if all of Resident Evil 8 was Lady Dimitrescu in her castle, but she was in lingerie the whole time.
Maybe.
With the fly swatter.
Yep, just with the fly swatter just to keep smacking her ass the whole time.
Oh yeah.
You've been a
Oh,
bad
yeah.
mommy.
Yeah, bad girl. This is your punishment. I have to punish you now. You've been a bad girl.
Oh, jeez.
It's like take it. You love this, don't you, you bitch?
You scared me by ejaculating too quickly. So therefore, thank you.
Wow, a quick shot.
Word.
It's like
Okay. But I am full. And
He's out of ideas to talk.
yes. And looks like Nate's not showing up today, but that's okay. So I'll go ahead and wrap it up here. But this afternoon will be more Resident Evil, and then I got some scary narrations, all new ones coming out this week on the channel, and then we'll get back to cranking on everything else once those drop. So with the new channel, I might put 130 up in full for a little bit, and then private it so that Toei Animation can't get to it. But otherwise, it'll be in full on Rumble and BitChute and Odyssey as well, which is where all the full episodes are too.
Yes, I'm gonna call you, take it down, and then beg you to stay.
Well, I mean, if people have questions as to where it is, then yeah, I'll make a follow-up video clarifying. Yeah, this is where the full video is because Toei Animation are the ones being jerks about it. You know.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention when it comes to scary things. What do you think about creepypastas?
Yeah. Again, I've actually one of the narrations I'm doing is a Slender Man story. And that's gonna drop on the channel this week.
You should do a SpongeBob creepypasta.
SpongeBob creepypasta.
There's plenty. Trust me, there's plenty of those.
Those just feel more silly than scary to me. All right, but I'm gonna hop off. See you this afternoon. And yeah, and again, I'm putting these up on Rumble, so these are beginning actually traction on Rumble too.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Before you go, though, I will say one thing though. Keep an eye out on the 30th. Something may or may not happen regarding a certain HRC.
HRC.
Yeah, I won't. I won't clarify any more than that. I'll just leave it at that.
HRC. What the hell's HRC?
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
I'm not gonna tell you. Because it may or may not happen. If it doesn't happen, I don't want to. You know, I don't want it to be disappointing. So I'll just leave it at that.
Around you were disappointed.
Wow,
girl, you make me disappointed because you're not in front of me right now.
He said you make me disappointed because you're not in front of me right now.
It's like, girl, if you want to make me if you want to make me feel pain, you're gonna have to do. I don't think anything you can do will do it.
How about I just get my strap like you? How's that?
What a note to end on. All right.
Oh, the strap. That's crazy.
All right. Well,
I'll just use my spit.
Jesus Christ.
This girl is crazy. Fuck.
All right. We'll hop off there.